Welcome to Knowledge Hub. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Let's talk about the H-1B visa, America's official talent scout. For decades, this little piece of paper has been the golden ticket for skilled professionals around the world, opening doors to the American dream. It's not just a visa, it's a bridge connecting global talent to the heart of U.S. innovation. The H-1B program has brought in engineers, doctors, professors, and researchers, people whose expertise has fueled breakthroughs in technology, medicine, and science. These are the minds behind the apps we use, the medicines we rely on, and the discoveries that shape our future. From Silicon Valley startups to world-class hospitals, H-1B workers have become essential to America's progress. Each year, 65,000 visas, plus an extra 20,000 for those with advanced degrees, are up for grabs. The competition is fierce. Startups and tech giants like Google and Amazon all vie for the brightest minds, with most applicants coming from India and China. For many, it's a once-in-a-lifetime shot at a new life and a chance to make a global impact. Of course, the program isn't without controversy. Critics argue it can depress wages or even replace American workers, sparking heated debates in Congress and on the streets. But despite the criticism, the H-1B has long been a cornerstone of U.S. innovation, helping America stay ahead in the global race for talent. For many companies, it's a win-win. America gets the expertise it needs to grow, and workers get a shot at opportunity, stability, and a better life for their families. The H-1B has been a symbol of hope and ambition for generations. But what happens when you slam the door shut? On September 19, 2025, President Trump did just that, upending the system overnight. The announcement sent shockwaves through boardrooms, universities, and immigrant communities across the country. He didn't just tweak the rules, he dropped a bombshell that could permanently alter America's place in the global race for talent. Suddenly, the future of thousands of workers, and the companies that depend on them, was thrown into uncertainty. The game was about to change, and not for the better. For many, the American dream was slipping further out of reach, and the world was watching to see what would happen next. The Trump administration's so-called fix for the H-1B visa program wasn't a careful adjustment. It was more like dropping a guillotine from above. Instead of reforming the system with precision, the administration opted for a sweeping, dramatic move that stunned both employers and foreign workers alike. With a single stroke of the pen, President Trump imposed a staggering $100,000 fee for every new H-1B visa application. The order was set to take effect in just 36 hours, leaving companies and applicants scrambling to understand the new reality and make urgent decisions. Practically overnight, the cost of hiring a skilled foreign worker skyrocketed to the price of a luxury car. For many small businesses and startups, this was an impossible barrier, shutting them out of the global talent pool. Existing visa holders were temporarily safe, but for new hires, the message was clear: pay up or stay out. The sudden change left thousands of hopeful professionals in limbo, unsure if their American dream was now out of reach. The official justification was to protect American jobs and curb what the administration called overuse of the H-1B program. Supporters claimed it would prioritize U.S. workers and restore fairness. But in reality, only the wealthiest corporations could afford to play by these new rules. Smaller companies and innovative startups were effectively locked out, unable to compete for top global talent. To make matters worse, the Secretary of Homeland Security was given the power to grant exemptions. This raised immediate concerns about favoritism, backroom deals, and the potential for outright corruption in the visa process. This wasn't just a minor policy tweak. It was a radical, chaotic shift that upended the entire system. What was once a merit-based process suddenly became a pay-to-play scheme, sending shockwaves through the tech industry, immigrant communities, and the broader economy. The impact was immediate, and the uncertainty was overwhelming. The 36-hour window triggered chaos. Offices across the globe were thrown into disarray as news spread like wildfire. Managers scrambled to interpret the new rules, while employees frantically tried to understand what it meant for their futures. Imagine being a software engineer in India, suddenly told to catch the next flight or lose your dream job. In a matter of hours, lives were upended. People packed their entire lives into suitcases, making impossible decisions about what to take, and what to leave behind. Airports became scenes of panic as companies scrambled to get new hires into the US before the deadline. Departure boards flickered with last-minute bookings, and lines at check-in counters stretched endlessly. HR teams spent thousands on emergency flights and worked around the clock with immigration lawyers. Every hour counted, and every missed call could mean a lost opportunity. The abruptness left no time for planning, just a mad dash against the clock. Stress levels soared as people raced to meet impossible deadlines, fueled by adrenaline and fear. Immigration lawyers were flooded with desperate calls, and many began preparing lawsuits, convinced the president had overstepped. Legal teams worked late into the night, searching for loopholes and emergency measures. For workers, the American dream evaporated overnight. Years of planning and hope, gone in a weekend. Families faced heartbreak, and the sense of loss was overwhelming. The new message from the US: show me the money. Suddenly, opportunity was reserved for those who could pay, leaving many behind. Many started looking for a new, more welcoming home. Canada, Australia, and Europe became beacons of hope for those left stranded, as dreams were rebuilt in new lands. As the panic faded, criticism exploded. Legal scholars, business leaders, and human rights advocates called the fee unconstitutional. Only Congress can set taxes and fees. The policy locked out smaller businesses, nonprofits, and universities, creating a two-tiered system for the corporate elite. The exemption power for Homeland Security, a recipe for corruption and favoritism. Critics argued the policy would harm the US economy, not help it, leaving critical jobs unfilled and stalling innovation. Many H-1B jobs are in fields with real shortages. Blocking talent doesn't create American jobs, it just leaves work undone. The administration's America First move was seen as a self-inflicted wound. The world was watching, and so were America's competitors. The backlash was just beginning. The opposition quickly moved to the courts. Just 2 weeks after the announcement, a broad coalition, healthcare providers, labor unions, professors, and civil rights groups, filed a federal lawsuit in San Francisco. Their argument: the president can't impose a new tax, only Congress can. The $100,000 fee, they said, was illegal, discriminatory, and implemented without oversight. The lawsuit highlighted the harm to healthcare and education, especially in underserved communities. The coalition sought an immediate injunction, warning of irreparable harm every day the policy stood. This wasn't just about visas, it was about the limits of presidential power and the future of US immigration. The outcome could reshape America's laws for years to come. While America built a financial wall, Canada rolled out the welcome mat. Canadian recruiters were flooded with calls from skilled workers, and companies suddenly shut out of the US. Canada's streamlined immigration, 2-week processing, no lottery, clear paths to residency, looked more attractive than ever. Tech hubs in Toronto and Vancouver boomed as talent and investment shifted north. US tech giants expanded Canadian offices, hiring the talent they could no longer bring to America. The $100,000 fee didn't stop hiring. It just moved jobs, innovation, and tax dollars out of the US. The brain drain was real, and Canada was the big winner. America's loss was its neighbor's gain. So who wins and who loses? The losers. Thousands of skilled workers, small businesses, universities, hospitals, and ultimately, the US itself. The business community, usually pro-Republican, united in condemnation, warning of lost jobs and competitiveness. The winners? Canada and other countries eager for talent, plus a few giant US corporations who can afford the fee. But even they lose in the long run, as America's reputation and innovation edge erode. The $100,000 fee is a self-inflicted wound, punishing ambition, stifling growth, and telling the world America is closed for business. The next Google or Apple may not be born in a California garage, but in a Toronto high-rise. And that's a loss America may never recover from.